was. But I had my title, and I wasn't going to question him. I was trying to think of something stronger than, I wanted to get the strongest superhero anybody had, and I figured, why not a god? So everybody knew that Roman gods and the Greek gods, I figure most people aren't that familiar with the Norse gods. So I did a little reading about them, and it was fascinating. Thor and Odin had one eye and all that, and Loki. So I figured we'll do them. And I love adjectives. I wasn't just going to call it Thor. It was the mighty Thor. Now, when I started it, it was different than the way it is now. When I started it, he was a doctor who walked with a cane. And I forget what happened, but he ended up in Norway, and he saw this hammer stuck in a stone with a message that said, if only he who is worthy will be able to lift the hammer. And something happened. There were bad guys chasing the doctor, who was very good. I made a point of showing what a good guy he was. And he ran into this cave, and there was the hammer, and he needed a weapon to fight the bad guys. He reached for it, and he picked it out of the stone right away, and he became Thor. And later, whenever he hit the hammer on the ground, he would turn back into this lame doctor who walked with a cane. And the cane became the hammer of Thor every time he hit it. And he was in love with a nurse on Earth, but he was also in love with the goddess Sif in Asgard. And sometimes later on, we would learn that Nurse Jane and Sif were the same person, that Odin had put a replica of Sif on Earth for the doctor who was really Thor. And I had a whole complicated thing in my mind. But after a while, I stopped writing the book. Other people took it over, and they sort of forgot all about that.
To speak to that, I think that that's a problem, because the problem, and I always enjoyed Thor, but the problem I had was that he was a god, and I never really knew his personal life. He had the Superman problem a little bit after you left the book, where they didn't have the weakness, they didn't have what you had done.
Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, guys.
I never really thought about that till this interview, but you're right, they did leave that out.
Yeah, and he became.
But he's a great character, and what I tried to do was get interesting characters with him. I loved, he had 3 friends called the Warriors 3, I think. There was Volstagg the Voluminous,
yes,
this big fat warrior who was the kind of guy who said, I'll hold your coat, you fight him. And then there was somebody, the Balder the Brave, I think,
yes,
who I modeled after Errol Flynn. And there was Hogan the Grim, I think that was his name. He had had a tragedy in his life, and he never smiled. But the 3 of them were good friends of Thor's, and I loved using them. And then there was Heimdall, who guarded the Rainbow Bridge. I love that Rainbow Bridge from Earth.
Okay. I'm back. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I loved writing Thor, because I could also use thee and thous and that kind of flowery language. Thou shalt not. It was Daredevil.
Daredevil. I love Daredevil.
So did I.
He's blind, and he's not super.
Well, he's a little bit super.
A little super.
Because
senses.
his other senses
Yes.
are all magnified.
Yes.
He can hear, he can tell if you're lying, because he can hear your pulse rate speed up. And I like that. And he can walk on a tightrope, because by having super sensitive hearing, your balance is in your ears, things like that. And he could read something, and even though he was blind, he could read a book by running his finger over the page, because his fingers were so sensitive they could read the ink. Mm-hmm. So, and he was a good guy, and I tried to make him nice and cheerful, and had a lot of fun with his partner, Foggy Nelson. When they did the movie, they made it too tragic and too grim. I felt it wasn't really the Daredevil that I had thought of. But I loved the character.
That was one of my favorite titles, and I love that one because it was really, I love the mob, the kingpin. It was a different kind of world. It was a it was a grittier world on a smaller scale.
Yeah, the villains were just regular gangsters.
Match found.
There was the Kingpin. It's funny because I was a little afraid after I did Daredevil. I thought maybe blind people would object. Maybe, you know, what the hell are you trying to do? We're blind, we can't do those things. But I got a lot of mail from charities like the Lighthouse for the Blind and Seeing Eye. And they said, we read those stories to children, and they love them. That made me feel so good, you know.
Of course, great entertainment is aspirational, and it gives us something to look for. I love that character.
Well, the first one that I remember was a very poor version of Captain America as a movie. Then there was a a short-lived
Any
Spider-Man
mics?
television series where they did everything.
Yo.
Everything.
Yo,
never
buddy.
forget, I think it was CBS, I'm not sure, but I called a meeting. I wanted to tell them what I felt they were doing wrong.
Oh, please. Thank you. I would play Sentinel, but I'm a better KO, so I won't.
All right, positive mental attitude. Let's do our best. Let's have fun. Let's level up the battle pass. Get that bread. Yeah.
There. Enemy spotted A.
One suppressed.
Bomb buddy out.
Launching smoke. Reloading. Reloaded. Reload him. Careful now.
Spike down A.
Locked in.
Last player
Fuck
standing.
behind.
Yo.
Still in sight.
Reloading. Enemy spotted A.
Launching smoke.
Reloading. Grenade.
Fuck. A-Link.
Our spike carrier's down.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
Careful now. Reloading.
Okay, we're gonna do Spectre, Light, one Lear.
Flashbang.
Grenade!
Flashbang.
Stealing sight.
Knife deployed.
Who trained you?
Gun here.
Smoke's down.
Reloading.
Here.
Caution.
I'm low. I don't know if there's anyone here.
Down.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
Watch your eyes.
Knife deployed.
Good job.
Affirmative.
Face your fear!
Reloading.
Enemy spotted A.
Going up.
Planted. My ult ready.
They will cover.
One enemy
Joke's
remaining.
over. You're dead.
You're just like
That was pretty good.
Flash.
cutting their vision.
Suppress it.
Reloading.
Caution.
Reload. Cutting their vision.
My ult's not ready.
Here.
Bomb buddy out.
Reload.
I'm the spider. Right here.
Grenade!
Someone there.
That's right. Looks ready.
One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
Flawless.
That was slick.
Dish in a barrel.
That was kind of slick.
Spike's here.
Yo, let's rush C with my ultimate.
Going C. Rush them.
I'm going to take out C main and then I'll ult. So just follow my ult. Kill the guy that kills me and then revive me, okay? Yeah.
My ult's ready.
You'll see, don't worry.
Shutting them
Yeah.
down. One suppressed.
Follow me. You have to get close.
Enemy walks away.
Two on site. Be careful. Don't revive me. You and me.
I need a recon.
There's someone in front of me. Don't revive me.
Spike
That's what I was
down.
trying to
C.
say to you guys.
Emergency reset required.
Last player standing.
Finished.
Suppressing.
Stealing sight.
One suppressed.
Smoke's down.
Cutting the
Let's go.
Reloading.
There.
Spike.
Reloaded.
Target on here.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Plant the spike.
Enemy spotted A. Satchel out. Enemy spotted A.
Flash.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Damn, there's reflexes. Oh my god. It's because I'm playing calm and relaxed. And not giving a fuck. Nice, calm, and relaxed.
I can buy for you.
Need equipment. Thanks.
What do you need?
Affirmative. Flash.
Come on, let's go.
You are divided!
Cutting the vision.
They will cower!
Spike down
Oh,
A.
fuck.
One suppressed.
Last player standing. Flawless.
So let's do an AWP round.
Reloading.
Do an AWP round. I'm gonna fuck someone up. Watch this.
Stealing sight.
Launching smoke.
Fuck. Get out of the way.
Reloading.
Stealing sight.
Reloading.
Out of charges.
Fuck. Oh my god.
Grenade!
Spike planted. Right here. Watch your eyes.
Last player standing.
Oh, that, yeah. We're good, we're good. We're good, we're good.
Reloading.
Let me fix, let's move Link over here. So I've been playing Warcraft, that my setup is not quite my Valorant setup. Okay.
Go get him.
Reloading.
Fully smoked.
Cutting their vision.
Molly.
Cutting their vision.
My ult's ready. No one walks away. Flashbang. Gun here. Plant the spike.
Plant the spike.
Got him. Gun here.
Down you go.
One enemy remaining.
That was slick.
Need a drop.
Anyone need something?
Reloading. Sight. Cutting their vision.
Bomb buddy out.
It's you and me.
Spike dropped.
Plant the spike.
One enemy remaining.
Watching here. Knife deployed.
Gun here. Gun here. Reloading. Reloading.
Reloading.
Last round in the half.
Anyone need something? Spike dropped.
Enemy spotted A.
Stealing sight.
Dead! Launching
Face
smoke.
your fear!
Carrier's down.
Spike
I have
down
the spike.
A.
I got the spike. Satchel out.
Last player
Oh my
standing.
god. Fuck. Wow.
Got the spike.
Switching sides. Spike planted.
Satchel out.
Fuck.
Careful now.
Tim beacon here.
Nice
One
force,
enemy remaining.
nice.
Last player
Oh,
standing.
you got this, you got this, you got this. Fuck, they should have pushed. We got it! He got it! Oh my god. Woo! Yeah, baby! Woo!
Flashbang. Shutting them down. That guy down.
Nice.
Going B.
Spike planted.
Flash. Flagman.
One enemy remaining.
Right here.
There. Gun here.
Gun here.
Try again.
Out of charges.
Shutting them down. One suppressed.
Spike down B.
On my mark.
Out of charges. One enemy remaining.
Joke's over. You're dead. Come on, let's go.
Cutting their vision.
Careful now.
Still in sight.
Someone A.
Spike planted.
That's done.
One enemy remaining.
On my mark. Flashbang. Gun here. I detonate.
That was a pretty good play I just did. I blocked my guy with my shield. That was pretty good. We're just gonna do what works. 3 more rounds.
Cutting the in sight.
Flash.
Right between the eyes. My ult's ready.
One enemy remaining. My ult ready.
Flash.
Got this ring time.
There.
I need a drop. Cheers.
Need a drop. Thank you.
Rush them. Rush them. There.
Joke's over. You're dead.
Flashbang.
Cutting the vision.
Multiple
It's
suppress.
you and me.
Two suppressed. Grenade.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Match point.
Damn, I played really well. Let's just clutch this out. I played really, really well.
Still in sight.
I blew you up.
I know exactly where you are.
Spike planted. Still in sight.
It's okay, they use all their ults.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god.
One suppressed.
Good job. Wow.
My ult's not. Grenade out.
That was a really good game.
Shame. I love explosions.
Defenders win.
You love to see it. Oops. And that's what I wanted to get a little screenshot of. Nice. How's that? What is even at the end of it? It's not even anything I really want, but. Is there anything after that? No. So it's not really anything I want. Perfect. All right, I think I'm gonna play some League of Legends. Or I could do Warcraft. Back to Warcraft. Let's just hop on League for a second.
with the show. So I was sitting around the conference table with a lot of big wigs from the network and the screenwriter. And I said, you know, you're not playing originality, and you're not doing this, and you're not doing that. And when I got all through, they thanked me very much for being there. Nothing was changed, and I got a call from the writer saying, I appreciate your comments, but I can't fly by the seat of Stanley's pants. That was the comment I got. And the show went off the air a few weeks later. But then we did Blade, and that was a hit. That was the first time we did something that was really a hit. It wasn't my character, but it didn't matter. He was a vampire hunter. We had a great script, a good actor. Everything was good about it. We did a sequel, Blade. And then there was a long lull when nothing happened, and then a long thing. I think it was the X-Men. It was the first one. And after that, we were off and running. Daredevil, I felt, didn't quite capture it. But aside from that, but it was good as a movie. But aside from that, I thought they were all absolutely wonderful. Every one of them. There were things I would have maybe seen. In the first Hulk movie, the Hulk was too big. Things like that, but they were all good. They were well-made movies. I think Marvel could be proud of every one of them.
Which is your, if I had to ask you, there have been 3 versions of, big screen versions of the Hulk now.
I
Eric
think
Bana,
the
Edward
latest
Norton,
one.
your favorite
latest
from the
one.
Avengers?
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo as
Yeah.
Bruce Banner.
Just like they got Iron Man was so right with Robert Downey Jr. He was born to play Tony Stark.
And there was a big question before it came out. Is Tony Jr., but he just, I can't imagine anyone else in that
No,
role.
no, he is Tony Stark.
Yep. Let's go backwards because we missed it. What about Bill Bixby's television show?
Oh, I forgot about that. That was wonderful. That was directed and written. I forget his last name, but he was brilliant. He was smart enough not to have the Hulk speak. You know, when I used to write the stories, the Hulk would say, "Me smash" or "Hulk smash," you know. I needed some dialogue to throw in. He knew what was said. He didn't have the Hulk speak. And he had Bill Bixby playing, and David Banner. Ed Lou Ferrigno was perfect as the monster, and the stories were good. You only saw the Hulk for about maybe 3 minutes in the whole half hour, but you waited, and women went mad when there was that scene where his shoulders, that the shirt started to tear and his shoulder was getting big. Everything about it was a good show. Very good show.
I agree. I felt that show had emotional depth. I really cared. You cared for him. He was a fugitive in many ways. It was a very adult approach.
And the idea that both of them hated each other. Banner wanted to get rid of Hulk, and Hulk hated Banner.
Well, fuck.
Like that other thing I talked about. I forget what. Frankenstein. What was the movie you
Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde, yes. So it worked so well. So I enjoy them. It happened, I think, with the first X-Men movie. He said, "Hey, how would you like to be in one of the scenes?" So I was in the background selling hot dogs on a beach. But that was fun. And then for the Spider-Man movie, I was asked if I would do a cameo. And all I did was, I was standing in the crowd, something was happening up above, and I would like that. And it wasn't a lot. But little by little on the cameos, they started giving me more and wanted you. Some of them I actually had a line to say. In fact, I have 2 new ones coming out now. One in the Captain America movie, I think it is, and one in the new Spider-Man movie. And they're very brief, very simple, but I enjoyed your.
The reason I like them is because so often in the entertainment industry, the writer is just, and from the beginning, you were a presence. I opened up the comic book, and you know, I love that. Writers don't often get that, right? And for you to be in your films is another way of reminding people, you know, there was a source here. It was one man.
No, I'd rather it reminds people how good an actor I am. All right, to each his own. Well, we have a number, here at my company, Now Entertainment, we have a number of movies that we're doing. And I hope I hang around long enough. I'd like to see them. They're based on my stories. And I think they're going to be good.
An ally has been slain.
I just enjoy what I'm doing. You know, I enjoy talking to people.
An ally has been slain.
There's nothing nicer than working with creative people, artists, writers, editors, producers, directors. And we're talking about make-believe, which is another nice thing. There are so many rotten things in the world out there. In the world of that was writing. When I would write Dr. Julie's dialogue, no, you won't read, Richard. I mean, I was acting it out to myself. Every character, I was that character while I was writing, you know? And I tried never to get 2 characters to talk alike. They all had to have their own way of speaking. Even if we didn't have to pick
An enemy has been slain.
Oh, another one we forgot to mention was Doctor Strange. I like doing that because I like coming up with incantations. Like, instead of saying abracadabra, like any magician would say, by the horns of Arca, by the shades of the shadowy seven. I don't know what the hell it is.
I do also love that. It's so different.
An ally has been slain.
Steve Ditko did a wonderful job. And on Spider-Man. Yeah. You know, I wish I knew. I believe it or not, I think luck is the most important element you can have. I mean, I was lucky that I went into that company at that time, met Joe and Jack left at that time, and so forth. I might have gone into
Ally
another
has been
company.
slain.
I had a job as
Double kill.
as an office boy at a trouser manufacturer. Now, if business hadn't been bad and they hadn't fired me at around 16, I might have stayed there. And I would never have been good in the trouser business, but I might have made my life working for Trousers Trousers. I was lucky that I got fired and I got a job. I don't know what to tell somebody to do. A writer how to succeed. The only thing I can say is what I did. And I was lucky that it worked with some writers.
An ally has been slain.
I only wrote to please myself. Because I figured I'm not that different from other people. I mean, I think I'm wonderful, but I'm just a guy like everyone else. And if I like a certain type of story, the chances are there are millions of people who like it also. So I would always, and I would say this to an artist, I would always try to write or draw what I want to read or what I want to see.
Shut down.
And the chances
An ally has been slain.
are similar taste, but I know so many writers who write for them. Like they say, well, this story is for somebody who's in his 20s. He'd like this story. Well, I don't know specifically how people in their 20s think, or in their 30s, or in their 50s, or teens. I just know the kind of story I think is a good story. And I figure that no matter what your age is, you react to a good story. So the one, and I hope this is good advice, I'm not sure it is, but it worked for me. The one thing I would suggest is it's important to please the person you're working for and so forth, but you've got to please yourself. You've got to do something you think is terrific, something you would love to see if somebody else had done it. And then, if you can do that, you also have to have, again, whether you're a writer, an artist, or so many artists, say, what do you think of these? Could I be a good artist? And I would look at them as a story. And I would think to myself, if you don't have a good artist, someday you're not going to make it as an artist. But I never knew how to word that, how to say that to somebody. So I would say, well, maybe you should just thought you're something. But an artist should be able to tell if his artwork is good. You should have an art. And a writer should be able to know after he writes a paragraph, or you've got to be able to edit your own material. You've got to have that kind of taste. And if you don't, without that sort of ability to know whether something is well written and interesting written or not, then it's tough to make it in the field of writing or any field. So it's about as serious as I've been for 5 minutes. Excelsior, which means upward and onward to greater glory.
Enemy rampage.
Spider-Man. Oh, there's not a country in the world that doesn't know those names.
When you meet Stan, he's to me the only living Marvel comic hero on Earth.
Destroyed.
All good. Was it nothing? Okay.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Turret plating will soon fall. An enemy is dominating. An ally has been slain. An enemy is godlike.
Ah, right between them. No. That's unlucky. Oh, fuck. I think top got too fed. And then, like, they're just walking under tower. Damn. Yeah, this team was... Look at this. Mid got crushed. Top got crushed. And then they just all came bot. I was actually beating the fucking, Twitch.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Yeah, let me get out of this game. These people not on my level. Probably game, whatever. Should be over soon. Jesus. Oh wait, that's a fucking what's that Super Champion's name? Set. How is he 8-0? Oh my god. Oh, is Yas just gonna win? That would be fucking hilarious. Is Yas gonna carry for us? Let's see. Boom.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Just lead them up here, and then I say I go this way. That was smart. That was so smart. Oh my god, I'm freaked. That was insane. That was insane. Then get Yas here. Oh, yes. Oh, do damage. Okay, that's okay. That fake out was sick, though. That was a sick juke. Yeah, please. This team not on my level. There we go.
Defeat.
What other mode? Do they have any new modes? Nexus Blitz?
I could do better.
Think about it. This man took a few short years to lay down the framework for character.
Will the real Stan Lee please stand up?
Moving need to be broken. I thought it was. But people.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Stan Lee, editor of the Marvel Comics group of superhero comic magazines.
I've been writing stories for the young generation for the past 30 years, and in the course of that time, well, I would imagine I receive about 200 to 300 fan letters every day, probably as much as the Beatles. I spend most of my time reading the mail and quite a lot of time answering it. During this time, I think I've learned a lot about what young people think. More importantly, I think I've learned a lot about what young people are.
What was your name at birth?
Stanley Martin Lieber. A perfectly lovely, normal name, and I wish I had never changed it.
When I was doing comics, I wanted to save my real name for that great American novel, which I haven't written yet, and I just took my first name and cut it in half, and I figured that sounds good for a comic book writer, Stan Lee. It's a silly name, you know, it's like Martin or Irving, but I'm stuck with it.
December 28th was a very important date for me in the year 1922. That's when I was born on the west side of Manhattan on 98th Street and West End Avenue. I had a fairly normal childhood, I guess. Two of my big influences were books and movies. I loved Tarzan. I loved Jules Verne. I loved anything that was imaginative, that was high concept, that was a little bit bigger than life. Yeah, I think I was born reading. I mean, I can't remember a time when I wasn't reading. One of the best presents my mother ever got for me was a little book stand so I could keep the book on it while I was eating. You know, and there's a little bar. You could turn the page and the bar held the page where it should be. She used to say that if I didn't have anything to read when I was eating, I'd read the label of the ketchup bottle. Had to be reading all the time. I loved the movies with, I loved King Kong, Dracula, Frankenstein. My favorite hero was Errol Flynn. Oh man, the roles he played, he was to me, the ultimate superhero.
He played Robin Hood, he played Captain Blood, he was in westerns, he was always rescuing women.
In fact, when I used to leave the theater after seeing an Errol Flynn movie, I'd be about 12 years old, I don't know. I'd walk down the street with a crooked little grin on my face, thinking it was the way he grinned. And I had an imaginary sword at my side. And I'd be looking around, hoping to see some bully picking on a little girl so I could defend her. It was always frustrating. I never found the bully. Probably lucky for me, because he would have killed me. But I wanted to be Errol Flynn more than anything I can think of. Because when I was a kid, we didn't have much money, and going to the movies was expensive. If I was lucky, I could go once a week on Saturday and see a picture. I did a lot of writing when I was in school. I did all sorts of composition. Every time there was a composition class, I knocked myself out to get the best composition. I wrote little poems for the magazine, for our official magazine, things like that. Nobody ever asked me to write stories or to create characters.
I sprung from the Depression years of this country, where the most important thing was just to have a steady job. You were a very successful person if you worked steadily by my lights.
My father, who was a great guy, but he had trouble getting a job, and so he was unemployed most of the time. My earliest memories are just him sitting home. I'd probably be embarrassed if I read it now, but I wrote that, and I wrote a lot of others, which some of those I didn't even bother signing. Well, the book did wonderfully. It sold great. But a funny thing happened. I got a lot of fan mail, and we had almost never gotten fan mail before. And all the letters said essentially the same thing. We love the book. It's the greatest. We'll keep buying it forever. You're the greatest writer. Jack is the greatest artist. It's terrific. But if you don't give them costumes, we'll never buy another issue. Now, I'll never understand why. I will never understand why, but for some reason, people who like superhero stories like their superheroes to wear costumes. Okay, I'm not going to go against that.
That was our first book in the so-called Marvel Age of comics, which revolutionized all of literature, as we all know.
After 20 years of writing pap and writing things like the strips you mentioned before, I suddenly realized, gee, I can actually have fun with what I'm doing.
My publisher came in and he said, hey, how about doing some more superheroes? I think the next one I did was the Hulk. When I was a kid, I loved the Frankenstein movie, the one with Boris Karloff. I hadn't read the book. The movie was what really grabbed me. And I always felt that the monster, that the role that Karloff played, he was the good guy. He didn't want to hurt anybody. All those idiots with torches were always chasing him up and down the hills. So I thought it would be fun to get a monster who was really a good guy. But just because he looks and acts like a monster, people hate him, fear him, hunt him, and try to destroy him. So then I thought, well, it's going to be tough doing story after story just about a monster. And I remembered Jekyll and Hyde. I thought, gee, what if this monster could really change into a normal man? And what if the normal man hated the monster, and the monster hated his normal self, who he thought was weak? Then I have conflict, and I have a situation where I can base a lot of stories on. His human identity, Dr. Bruce Banner, would be hit by a gamma ray. I have no idea what a gamma ray is, but it sounded good.
So I figured, okay, somebody is building a gamma ray bomb, it explodes, and the radiation, the effects of the bomb